Sharaha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. Now in the first chapter we were studying those roots. So the first chapter is dealing with how to derive the present tense forms of the dhatus of first gana. As we told, there are 2000 verbal roots. They are divided into 10 groups called ganas. So from the prathama gana, present tense forms we are deriving with the help of some dhatus. First dhatu, gam, gacha, to go, we have derived. So say the form, singular forms. Because language, as much you practice, so good it is. More you practice, more better it is. So more you practice, better it is. So gachati, singular small, only head, tell. Gachati, gachasi, gachami. Correct. So gam, gacha, to go. Second root is ni, naya, to lead or to carry. Means in other words, in simple English, to take it with you. To take it with you. Either take a person with you or take an object with you. Take it with. Take with. I think take something with. And helbitter, I think that will be a simpler expression. Take it with. Either take a person with you or take an object with you. Other thing is nayati. Idakke nayati, nayasi, nayami. Say.
Nayati, nayasi, nayami.
Then pat, to fall.
Pat, to fall. Patati, patasi, patami.
Okay. Next is buddha, bodha.
Buddha, bodha.
To know, to understand.
To understand. Buddhati.
Bodhati, buddhati illa. Bracket nalli
bodhati. Bodhati, bodhasi, bodhami.
Correct. Next, bhu changes to bhav. Bhav it changes, then ak takes a bhava, then add bhavati.
Bhavati, bhavasi, bhavami.
So few more roots are there. Shall we add? I think we will tell few more roots. And then the rules, I wanted to tell some rules.
Sandhi,
not sandhi, but guna adesha. Guna. That I shall tell after completing these roots. Now one more root. 5 roots we have studied. Now the 6th root is raksha. Raksha, to protect.
Raksha, to protect.
So those who need Panini roots. No, I have not told him. So since you are here, I'll tell you. First, gata dhatu ke gam dhatu ke gamlu gatam. Second, ni prapane. For the ni dhatu, ni nya it is chavarga nesal. Ni prapane, it is panini dhatu. Ni prapanam. Prapayati. See, prapnoti is, he knows, so therefore, those who know I am touching, it's not regular for everybody. Prapnoti, he reaches there. Prapayati means makes him reach there. So prapayati. So adarinda prapane, ninj prapane. Okay. So then patlu patane. Gamlu patlu is same. The next is buddha avagamane. Okay. Bhu sattayam. Then raksha palane. Raksha panini dhatu. And Panini gives its meaning as palane. Raksha palane. Okay. Now raksha in English means to protect. Now how do you derive the present tense form? Rakshati. Rakshasi.
Rakshami.
I think we will write it anyway. It will be good. Ti. Rakshati. Rakshasi. This is the thing. So rakshati, rakshasi, rakshami. Singulars. It is coming ulta here. It's useless. It is my selfie mode. Only that. There you can see.
We can
correctly.
See.
Okay. Visible or akshara should be bigger?
No, visible.
Okay. So rakshati. Rakshati means he protects or she protects. Then rakshasi.
You
protect. Rakshami, I protect. Now next dhatu is raksha is kannadadallide. Bhu ellide, bhu directly illa. Bhu bhavati is not there. Okay. But vada, next you see. Vada, to speak. Idakki Panini form is vada vyaktayam vachi. Okay, that you leave it. That is for advanced students. Okay, vada, to speak. A vada, to speak or to say. just to say something, to speak or to say, anything to say. For this you can say vada plus ti, vadati.
Vadati, vadasi, vadami.
Okay. Vadati, he speaks or he says something, she says something. Vadasi, you say. Vadami, I say or I speak. Okay, next vasa. Vas means to dwell. For this Panini form is vasa nivase. Okay. So vasati, tell.
Vasati, vasati, he dwells.
He dwells.
He dwells. Vasasi, you dwell. Vasami, I dwell.
For vasa, you can add ni also. It will come later. Ni upasarga, if you add, nivasati, nivasami, nivasa in Indian languages nallide. Vada ellide, raksha directly is there in our Indian languages. Raksha karna, rakshati, rakshanam, rakshisu, that directly word is there. So, ಗಮಿಸು ಪದ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಗಮ್ ಟು ಗೋ, ನಿರ್ಗಮಿಸು ಇದೆ, ಆಗಮಿಸು ನಿರ್ಗಮಿಸು ಇದೆ. ಸಿ ಗಮ್ ಧಾತು ಉಪಸರ್ಗ ಸಮೇತ. ಓ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ದೇ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇಟ್, ಟು ದ ಗಮ್, ಆಗಮತಿ, ಆಗಮ ನಿರ್ಗಮ, ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆಸ್ ಆಗಮಿಸು ನಿರ್ಗಮಿಸು. ಸಿ ದಟ್ ವೇ. So rakshati is over. Then vada. Vada to speak is there. Vada directly we don't have. Vada is there. Vadi, nyayavadi. What are the other vadi? Vada vadi, some different vadi. Sankhya vadi. Vadi means some different school. One who upholds that view, that particular school of philosophy is about vadi. Vadi, vada, vadopavada. Vadopavada is, vada is used for speaking there. Vada, arguing. But vada simply means speaking. Nyayavadi, ityadi, etc. Vasa, nivasa. Vasa, nivasa is there in Kannada? Okay. Nivas. Vasa, nivasa is there in Hindi. It in Hindi, in all Indian languages it is there. So this most of the verbs slightly modified or noun derivatives are found in our languages. So if we relate to them, it becomes easy to, the meaning becomes easy and the word doesn't look unfamiliar to us. Word looks familiar, we don't have to memorize it. Maybe one or two, like the ni nayati seems to be totally new. Ni nayati is totally new. Patanam ide, Buddha bodha ide, bhavati is something new. So raksha, vada, vasa is over. Now next to sru. Sru changes to sar. In bracket you can see them. Sru modifies according to some rule. So sar. Sar plus sar means he says to move. Sarati.
Sarati, he moves. Sarasi, you move. Sarami, I move.
Sarati, how do you say? Prasarati, prasara.
Prasarati.
Pra upasarga if you add prefix. So prasarati ide. Prasarati, vayu prasarati, no. Prakashaha. That sunlight prasarati or prasara, all we kinds of see them. Prasara means I think the transmissions. The prasara, we have the word prasar karna. I think it is there, prasarit hona in Hindi, Telugu, in all Indian languages. Sarati direct, but sarati is prasarati, samsarati. Samsara comes from this alone. Adu sarpati. Adu sarpati ide. Sarpati, sarpa dhatu is different. Sarpa, sarpati. Srupu sarpati. So sarati, prasarati, samsarati, anusarati, anusara. Anusarati, anusara.
Sarati direct use ide kannadalli.
Oh, sarati.
Sarati salinalli hodru.
Then see.
Sarati salinalli hodru. People moved in the Q1.
It's true. So prasarati, samsarati, another thing is anusarati. The noun forms are prasara, samsara, anusara. So the same word, verbal root, by taking prefixes, it slightly changes differently. That will come more, we'll discuss later. So it becomes easy to remember. Sarati, samsarati, samsara, prasarati, prasara, anusarati, anusara. So up to this, we have learnt the 9 verbal rules. So the coming to the rule, now I tell you. All the first conjugational rules. There is a rule here. First let us see what is guna. let us see first what is guna. So the Facebook can see what I am writing here, but in this, what you call this, YouTube recording, whatever I write, they see ulta. Until we get in another better facility. Okay, so A is there, A letter. For A letter, A is the guna. Guna is just a name of certain letters. Guna, Panini has given, like we call it X, or in Latin words, our English adapted, we call them beta, theta, so on. Just a name, a symbol is given as a name to it. Similarly, Panini has used guna, vruddhi, guna, vruddhi, these are all certain names to certain letters, certain words. He has given a fixed name. So instead of sometimes he gives one letter name, two letter name, but here it is a one word. Therefore, the guna is a quality. Guna is a positive quality in normal language. See, the word guna has got many meanings. Guna means a good quality is called guna. Bad quality is called dosha, not guna. Either dosha. Sometimes guna is used for common both durguna, sadguna. Suguna and durguna, it can be used in both the ways. Then guna is a common word. Then guna can mean what you call rassi. Rassi means the rope. Rope is hagga is also called, rope is also called guna. Another thing is guna means sattva, rajas, tamo guna. They are the technical Sankhya's call. The whole world is made up of these three gunas. So like this, the guna word changes according to the context. Here in the Panini grammar, guna is certain letters are called guna. First is A is guna. Whenever a guna is ordained means enjoined, prescribed by the Panini rule, grammar rule, it should come in place of certain thing. It comes as a substitute or called adesha. Substitute, it called in Sanskrit adesha. Adesha is generally order. In general meaning, adesha means adishati, ajñapayati. That is ordering. But in Panini's grammar, adesha is a substitute. It replacement. So whenever A is a guna comes in certain places, if guna is ordained there, then guna comes in place of what? In place of A. Then another is A is one more guna. This A guna comes in place of E. Whenever A guna comes, it comes in place of E. Then U is another guna. This guna comes in, U alla, Vo. O is guna. It comes in place of U. Then Ar is guna. In place of R. Al. Okay. In Panini Sutra, Adeng guna. At, A is At, and Eng is guna. Adeng guna Panini rule. So it becomes easy to remember. So let us say, what are guna letters? A, just repeat it. A, O, Ar and Al. These Ar and Al, instead of taking separately, some people call it is the A alone added with Ra and La. A same A added with Ra and La becomes another extra form. But for simple beginners, if you don't go into those technical details, we say these 5 are the guna letters. A, repeat again. A, O, Ar, Al. These 5 are called gunas. Okay. These gunas are substitutes in place of what? These are the places. Sthana. We call them sthana. So in place of these letters are substituted. Okay. In place of A alone. It is easy. A comes in place of E. O comes in place of O. Ar comes in place of Ru. Al comes in place of Lu. So these are the gunas. Wherever a guna letter is, guna comes. Guna can come as a sandhi. Guna can as a simple replacement. So guna letters are enjoined in Panini's grammar, either in a sandhi context. A sandhi means two letters come and join, that is a sandhi. But there also it is a substitutal one. But anyway, so this comes as a substitute in place of it. Now the rule for the first conjugation roots, that means prathamagana dhatus. All the prathamagana dhatu, all the dhatus of prathamagana follow one rule. What is that? Final vowel. You can note, it is there already in the notebook. Final, shall I tell you in the book? Those who are using the book, the rule is here. The third footnotes of the left page, you see. The final vowel or the penultimate short vowel of the root takes the guna substitute, takes gunadesha. So final vowel or penultimate short vowel. Penultimate, you know. Ultimate is last but one is called penultimate, or pre-final we call them, like that, penultimate. So it is in British Kala English, it is a old English, so he has got a very heavy English. Yes,
toe and all is there.
All that, yes, sir. So, because in those days it was used. In our childhood it was there. Later when we came, that thou and all those things we were taught in the beginning. Later it changed. By the time as we are advancing, they say these people are nowadays they are dropping it, so we are dropping it. Earlier it was used. Samskrita Bharati Sanskrit it is becoming. Samskrita Bharati Sanskrit also. You remove many things. First person, second person you remove and use everything. They removed singular, all use plural. Not even plural. Second person alone they removed. Use only third person for all. So that way you become, in these things what happened, what is the problem with Samskrita Bharati Sanskrit? Yesterday I told it. There may be many other defects, but immediate one problem is Tattvamasi you can't understand. Because Tvam Asi is not there. Neither Tvam nor Asi. So Tattvamasi you won't understand. What is Tattvamasi? He may be a fluent speaker of Samskrita Bharati. He may be a teacher of Samskrita Bharati. What is Tattvamasi? Oh, Tattvamasi, true. I have heard somewhere, but I don't know what it is. I'll ask my elders, he says. That means you can't read our traditional books, and even Valmiki, etc. you can't understand. You can't understand any. That's why they are unable to read. They stop. They won't read at all. They read only Samskrita Bharati's own publications alone. They read. They don't read these traditional books because they can't understand. When you can't understand all our traditional literature, then what else is there? Then you create new literature and confine to that alone, and the whole thing ban the old books. So are we creating another Sanskrit, or we are trying to retain that connection with our old Sanskrit? They are just losing connection. All Shankara Bhasha, all Valmiki, Vyasa, Manu, everything will be closed down. If all that closes, what will remain? Then only Daksha Arama alone will remain. I'll teach you after learning Sanskrit, then I'll teach you, but what is this Daksha Arama? Is it true? I think we discussed it. Daksha Arama is a meaningless words they are. See, a verb in an imperative mood, that means an ordering mood alone, you can use them. Daksha is not a noun, it's not a verb at all.
Oh, that RSS Sangha cautions, sir.
Do you know them?
In this school,
do you know what they are doing? Do you know these names?
No.
Daksha Arama, Dakshinavrata, all these things you have never heard?
No, in RSS camp only I heard.
Okay, but have you heard these names? At least you know them. These things don't exist because they are not verbs. A person who doesn't know Sanskrit, nouns alone he started using as a verbs.
He is giving caution, means action word only.
It's not action.
It's not action word.
They are nouns.
Yeah.
Arama, I think Arama is the only verb. They are not verbs at all. They are not ordering words. They are just nouns. It's like a good. Good means you be good. Does it mean be good? Good is not a verb. It's not an ordering word. So that's why there are all certain wrong. So if this kind of Sanskrit you learn, then you will lose touch with the traditional original Sanskrit. All the books look like Latin and Greek to you. You speak Sanskrit, but you can't read your Valmiki, you can't read Bhagavad Gita. You can't. Bhagavad Gita also Arjuna uses Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. He says, Aham Tvam Indra. Tvam means who? Tvam means who? How do you understand? Because Tvam word, they have removed the Tvam word second person at all. So all Bhagavad Gita shloka, if Bhagavad Gita you can't understand with Sanskrit, Valmiki Ramayana you can't understand, Manusmriti you can't understand, Mahabharata you can't understand, then still you are a Sanskrit, you understand it. We are reviving Sanskrit, we have done it, Sanskrit should be national language. Then in that Sanskrit you will understand only what is said in English. Only in England's English alone you will understand with that Sanskrit. When you can't understand our books, then what kind of Sanskrit is it? It's a very sad thing. Anyway, I told them they won't understand it. So, final vowel. I'll give you an example. Take, can I wipe out this? Or should I leave them? I'll put it here. Still there is a space. Bhu is one dhatu. Ni is another dhatu. Sru is another dhatu. Okay. How many letters are here? Bhu. Bhu is how many letters? One or two? Two letters. In Ni, Na and E. Illi Sa plus Ru. Ru is a vowel. So final vowel. In these dhatus, final is the vowel. Bhu is the vowel, Ni, E is the vowel, Ru is the vowel. Final vowel or penalty. If there is no final, there is no vowel in the final place, that is in the last place of a verb. If there is no vowel, then go to the penultimate. Like the penultimate, go to the Budh. Buddha, what is the final? In Buddha verb, verbal root in the dhatu, what is the final letter?
Final
letter. Dha is the letter. So dha is not a vowel, consonant. Then when there is no vowel in the final place, go to the penultimate. U is the vowel. So therefore, according to this rule, final vowel or the penultimate short vowel. See, if the penultimate should be short, final can be short or long. See, in the final position, the vowel can be short or long, immaterial. But in the penultimate, it should be only short. Okay. Final vowel or penultimate short vowel. Of the first conjugation roots of all the prathama gana dhatus, take gunadesha. This is the rule. Final vowel or penultimate short vowel of the first gana dhatus, first gana roots, take gunadesha. Gunadesha means they take a substitute of guna. They take guna as their substitute. Okay, now let us apply. Note it down. Okay, now we know what are gunas. In what place which guna comes, that also we have studied. Now the final position and the penultimate we have seen then. Now let us apply. Rule we have seen. In the bhu dhatu, final form is u. For u, guna adesha should come. For u, which adesha comes here? You can see. For u, o comes. Mahesh, I got it. For u, o is the guna ordained here. So the final vowel takes guna. Which guna? Now these are the gunas. So u takes o. So what happens? This bhu becomes bhu becomes bho. Okay. Bhu becomes bho. Ni. In ni, what is the final letter?
E.
For e, which guna will come?
Ye.
For e, a comes. So ni becomes
Ne.
Ne. Okay. From this ne, ta, ashte. Ne you add ta. Neta. Okay. Then sru. Sru for ru, what is the guna?
Ar.
Therefore sru becomes
Sar.
sar. Okay. Now Buddha changes to, he told penultimate short vowel. Is penultimate short vowel or long vowel? Penultimate position of the Buddha dhatu, final position, there is no vowel, there is only a consonant. Then look for the penultimate position. In the penultimate position, there is a vowel. Is that vowel short vowel or long vowel?
Short.
So the rule applies. Short vowel means rule applies. There is a short vowel, that means rule is applicable here. If it were long, rule would not be applied. If it were long, no rule cannot be applied. Two things. If the penultimate should be vowel, if penultimate is also consonant,
Doesn't have.
Raksha. What is the final letter? Raksha dhatu. Raksha. Helta illa. We are not telling. Raksha. Raksha. What is the final? You have seen that consonant ending alone. Raksha. What is the final letter?
Ksha.
Sha.
Ksha.
Sha. Kshala.
Sha.
Penultimate?
Ka.
Ka. Both are consonants. So no vowels. So you can't apply their guna. Therefore, Raksha doesn't become something else. Raksha remains Raksha. No change possible. Pata. For Pata, Ta is a final. Ta is consonant. Penultimate is A. For A, what is the guna? Already guna.
So it remains same.
Already guna. So I don't require Patate. So this rule we apply to all the Prathama Gana dhatus. Okay. So final Bhu changes to Bho, Ni changes to Ne, Sru changes to Sar. Buddha changes because the penultimate U, what is the guna?
Wo.
Then apply it.
Bodha.
Bodha. Okay. Buddha becomes Bodha. So this, when this Gunadesha applied, whatever changes, it takes place after applying this Gunadesha rule. That is put in circular bracket. You see the Bhandarkar. He put it in circular bracket. What he puts it in other bracket, like this, rectangular, that is a special substitute, not according to this Gunadesha rule. Bodh. Sorry, yeah, mistake. So it should be both. So this circular bracket means according to that Gunadesha rule. According to that special rule of Gunadesha, this change it has undergone. The main root undergoes this change according to this Gunadesha. Means after taking Gunadesha, this is the form he comes to. This is the form we get as a result of on applying this Gunadesha. So these forms are given. So for the children or some people who don't want these rules, we tell Bhu, you learn Bhu directly Bhava and go. Oh, here also not yet applied. One more Sandhi rule is there. One more rule we have to, because in the bracket he has given Bhava. One more rule is there. Next rule comes a Sandhi rule now. Next rule is a Sandhi rule. What is the Sandhi rule? A, O, I, O. Echo, Yavaya, Vaha. See, can you see here? You are this thing.
Visible.
A, O, I, and O. For these, followed by vowel. A, O, I, O. Followed by vowel. These letters change to A changes to I.
He changes to I.
I, A, Ya. This changes to Av. I changes to I. O changes to Av. I think in keyboard I had to put ink somewhere there. Anyway. So A changes to I. See, Jai, when we say, just an extra information. Jai, Bharat Mata ki Jai. In Jai, Ja and Ya should come. Jaya. In fact, Sanskrit it is Jaya. Jai word is, the Ya ending, consonant ending alone is not there in Sanskrit. Jaya, Vijaya, Ya. It means A will come there in Sanskrit. So Jaya we have to say. Then in Sanskrit. But in Hindi you may say Jaya, Jaya. But some people pronounce it as a Jai. Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Krishna. Jai. But this Jai is not there. This is an artificially by pronunciation defect, by an accent people change it. But this Jai is not there. Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. We can't say Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai they say. Jai Jai Allah Jaya Jaya Ram. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Like that Jaya Jaya. Or if Hindi, like if you pronounce at least Jaya Jaya, it could be. It can't be Jai, you can't change it.
In Kannada also they use like Jai only.
Everywhere they say. They do anything. Do you know what is that Bajrang Bali?
Bajrang Bali.
Bajrang Bali andre meaning gotta ante Bajrang Dal, why do you bring?
Bajrang Bali. Anjaneya.
Bajrang Bali, have you ever heard?
Heard.
It means Anjaneya. How? What is the meaning of it? Adu North Indian accent defect. Vajranga Bali. Vajranga, Va they pronounce as Bajranga. A Bajranga, Jara, Sanyuktaksharas, they separate it. Krishna ko Krishan they call it. Kishan Rao comes, Krishna alone, Kishan becomes. All Muslims and Hindi people, they break the word.
Oh, then Kishan is...
Kishan is a corrupted form of Krishna. Krishna becomes a Kishan. Because there are no Sanyukta letters in Urdu. You have to, letter after letter you have to write. There is no joinings. Letter after letter you have to write. There is no joining.
Oh, there is no Sandhi.
Joining, Sanyukta Aksharas. Not Sandhi, Sanyukta Aksharas. Joinings are, two consonants joining are not there. Therefore they put one by the side of other. Therefore Krishna ki Kirshan. Kirshan. A Kirshan ko Ra drop it, Kishan. Kirshan. Krishna ke Kirshan. Marga ko Marag. Artha ko Arath. They put it. Aratha, like that.
Okay.
Paramartha ko Paramarath. They like that. They split Sanyukta words and put one by one letter. That's what they say. Vajranga ki Bajaranga. Va changes to Ba. And Vajranga, okay, even if you change it to Ba, Bajranga, it should be Bajaranga.
Sanyukta split.
Sanyukta are split. That's why. This is one more reason. They say there should be no grammar. If no grammar, Vajranga becomes Bajranga, then you would not know what is the word. Grammar protects the language, a certain form and the beauty of it, and certain orderly beauty in it. In these things, communication to another person is easy. Another thing is, over a centuries of period, the old language is retained. You can understand the old bhasha. Otherwise, you would not understand Mahabharata, which was written 5,000 years ago. You would be moving away from the language. That language looks like somebody like some Latin and Greek to the modern people. For us to retain the Shastras, the Veda, Purana and Upanishad, the Shastras, we are able to understand because we retain the grammar. But at the same time, we have given people freedom. That's why those who do not study, Dvijas study Shastras. Those who study Shastra, they have to study grammar. Those who don't want to study Shastra, remain common people, live on spoken language alone. They need not study grammar, let them speak anything. They have a freedom. That's why we have got a Dvijas and non-Dvija. Non-Dvijas have a freedom. They can corrupt the words. They can distort the words. Anything they can pronounce it. The freedom is given. That's why we call it a Janapada language, folk language. In folk language, they can compose songs. They can compose poems. They can sing and dance and do anything. You have a freedom. They alone understand it. After some time, their language becomes, after 1 or 2 generations, their own language becomes a foreign language to themselves. Then they will compose new songs and drop old songs. Let them do that. Now what is Prakrut? Prakrut and Pali are nothing but corrupted forms of Sanskrit alone. Now after few centuries, what happened now? Where are the Prakrut now? Where is the Pali? Pali is another Prakrut alone. Pali Prakruts have disappeared. Not disappeared. They have changed into Hindi, Gujarati and Marathi and all. Marathi, you see the, Tukaram days or even earlier to the Jnaneshwar days. Jnaneshwar days, it was not Marathi, it was Prakrut.
But Jnaneshwari book, it is also...
I am talking of Jnaneshwari, but again, Jnaneshwari also, what is that? I am talking Jnaneshwari was Prakrut language. Jnaneshwari book was written in Prakrit Marathi.
Oh, Prakrit
And that has further modified, further corrupted and developed into present Marathi.
Oh, okay.
Like that, Tulsidas was a in-between stage. Earlier from the Prakrit stage to now the present Hindi has further changed. Still the local people speak that Tulsidas Hindi and Rajasthani, Bihari, Gujarati, Bhojpuri, they retain. Spoken languages are there retained it. If they don't retain it, that will disappear. Or nobody will understand that. Their own people will not understand their own language. Therefore, if you keep on changing it, nobody will understand. Therefore, Pali Prakrit disappeared. Even Pali Prakrit also, they have a grammar, sutra like Panini Sutra. They made grammatical rules in spite of making grammatical rules, because too many days have passed, it has changed into other languages. Now the present North Indian languages are all from that time. But their ancestral forms were Prakrit. But Sanskrit remained it. Prakrit died. Prakrit disappeared because for want of use, they have become another forms. Because they say no grammar. Okay, no, if you know grammar, what will happen? You won't understand your own books. But Sanskrit, even now we understand, because they retained grammar. The traditional people, if you make grammatical mistakes, they won't allow. They won't listen to you. They won't. When you speak. That's why you have to do extra effort to learn the correct form. You see how every letter I am changing it. I am explaining every letter. Because once you learn Sanskrit, you can't use a wrong word. If you use a wrong word, they consider it as a papa. Every word you have to pronounce correctly. Correct grammar you have to say. Because of this alone, we are able to understand Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everything correctly. Without losing a single letter, you will understand it. So we have written for thousands of years, we retained that Shastras. Because those Shastras of eternal value. See, the Shastras of like Bhagavad Gita, how many centuries, how many millennia passes, still, because it talks of a universal truth. Universal truths are always there. Panchabhuta, Panchendriya, 5 sense organs, mind and intellect, Raga, Dvesha, Atma, Deha, Prapancha, all the Panchabhuta remain same. You think after another century, Panchabhutas will remain 10 Bhutas? Panchabhutas will remain Panchabhuta. You have 5 sense organs. After some time, you will become 2 sense organs, or you become 100 sense organs. You will remain 5 sense organs. So, Upanishads, Vedanta talks of universal truth. So, the language remains the same. We have to retain it. Therefore, we retain the grammar. But grammar gives you certain beauty, certain discipline to you. Those who have not undergone the formal education, they are given freedom. Those who are talking, oh, it is a patriarchy. What is patriarchy? We want to retain the language. Then you already have got we have already given freedom for the folk languages. All you see, Kannada, Telugu, Marathi, everything has got a folk language. In every language you see, you take in Marathi or Hindi. Chaste, educated people's Hindi or illiterates, villagers' Hindi is different. Educated man's Kannada and illiterates man Kannada is different. ಹೋಗುತ್ತದಾ ಇವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೊತ್ತದ I don't know what they form. They use all something like that. ಹೊತ್ತದ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಇವರು after you say we remove ಹೋಗುತ್ತದ ಹೊತ್ತದ everywhere we say. Then afterwards all the verbs will become something else. They will become another language. They will become another Latin languages.
Just to deviate, if you want you can. But what they say is folk languages are developed because in order to oppose Sanskritization.
Where is it?
No, they bring up this theory.
First thing is very Sanskritization. All these are speculations, impositions and rogues. It is a hatred alone. Why do you take interest in such hateful, meaningless words? There is no proof, there is no evidence in the history. You sit on a chair and keep imagine against the existing facts. Where is Sanskritization? People wanted to learn good culture, good values by living with the people. See, when you live with the cultured people, educated people, those who live close to Brahmanas and Dvijas and live with them, definitely they have a better values, better discipline. You can see them. Those who live with our sannyasis, you will have certain little samskara of sannyasis. How do they do? Certain our way of talking, certain customs, certain acharas, certain festivals, you know better than the people who live away from us. It's natural. So any other people, non-Dvijas, live close to them, they learn certain languages, etc. In fact, they found that there are certain good values. They don't drink, they don't eat non-vegetarian food, they follow certain discipline. We will also follow. Okay, we encourage them. In fact, we tell them to follow. In fact, that is what is told. You live with Brahmanas, you learn certain culture and values. But if you don't want it, freedom is given. We are talking that freedom is given. See, when you tell one lie, I refute that lie. To defend that lie, you create another lie. Then another lie. There is only lies in the world. These fellows who are talking are only lies. First lie I have answered. Now, without telling whether you accept it or not, you go into another lie now. Now you say these things, this Sanskritization, opposite all this thing. Where is all this thing now? Already one lie I have refuted. It is a lie, baseless lie. Yes, a patriarchy. Who imposed it? Did we impose Shudras? You speak our Sanskrit. Correct. You pronounce correctly. Hoguttade helabeku, hottade helabaradu. Did we impose? In fact, we adjusted with them. In fact, our people, highly educated Dvijas, they speak two languages. With illiterate, they speak like them, or sometimes they speak their own language, they understand. They are not used to speak, but they understand. But when they speak out of habit, they speak their own language, but we understand. But when we educated, cultured people come, we speak our chaste language. So because it follows certain grammar, and the grammar we have to follow because we have written books, certain statements are there, certain what you call Vaidika mantras, or certain statements, proverbs, and certain many things are there. So they have to be retained. If you change them, how will you understand those shlokas and mantras? So we retain certain things. So we have given freedom to them, those who don't want it. Now this, have we refuted this or not? This is a lie. Now hereafter don't create such lies. Now once I refuted this lie, without admitting it, without apologizing it, you create another lie. Now your job is to keep on creating lie. My job is wasting my time to answer you. Now for this lie I have exposed it. What is your reply now? Apologize it. Hereafter I will not create these lies, more lies like that. You first say that. I will not create more lies like this. No, if you say, no, I am not responsible, I am not accountable. I keep telling lies. I keep telling lies and you refute it with facts. Again, I will create more lies. So my job is only to create lies and destroy your culture and your society, your history. And it is your job to waste your time and collect the data and then refute it and write a book. Then even if you write a book, I'll keep quiet when you write a book. Then after you go away, again I'll repeat the same thing. You go away or you keep the book at home, and again in front of illiterate people, again I'll tell the lie and I'll create hatred of these people against Brahmanas. Now where is the patriarchy? This is your hatred is the real reason. This is the reality right in front of you. This is a fact. You leave the fact and talk of me and then waste my time and then make it all media is used only to create lies and then impose on people. All this media is for hatred alone. To fulfill your hatred, to destroy the cultures and civilizations, this is the media and books and universities. For all this alone. Hey, this is all hateful fellows. And should you reply and you are bringing day by day one question.
This happens in universities, in sociology, anthropology.
I've already answered. Universities are there, TVs are there, media is there, only to create lies out of hatred, which is against fact. I have shown you right now the fact.
True.
But the facts, that means to cover up the facts and create the lights, all the modern civilization. One sentence I answered already. Whole 50% or even more than 50% of modern civilization is living for sake of lies and hatred. Hate and lies. Now, do we want this kind of civilization?
No.
Then why talk of? Just expose one example. Tell the motive. Tell their method. Their motive, their method, and then the media they are using it. All this, once you understand it, then keep them away. Wherever necessary, keep them away, defeat them. Then create alternative universities, media and everything and expose them. Let the people know it. With one or two concrete example. No, you keep on, no, when they keep, if you give one more lie and I'll reply. Again one more lie, again reply. Then you give 20 lies now. Now to reply the 20 lies, I have to collect the data. I'll spend my 20 days or 1 month on it. 1 month I give away all my time and refute it. What is the use of my refuting? You will not stop your hatred. You will not stop creating more lies. What is the point in my refuting you? The refutation for whose sake? We already know the facts. For you, you won't stop creating. For this, what is your accountability? Are you accountable for these lies? Apologize. Hereafter, I will not create. No, I am not accountable. I will create more lies. No, what is the point in my replying? You are a hateful rogue. You deserve to be put in jail. This is an intellectual jail. You need it. It's an intellectual criminals they are. Intellectual terrorists. You are bringing again and again as if it is a very high intellectual discussion, very highly educated man's discussion, as if it is a very serious. There is no stuff in it at all. Is there any fact?
No.
Then what is all this? Creating lies out of hatred. With these things, what is the aim? to create a certain group of people for no reason, hate them. You destroy the sincere people, good people who built the civilization, who built a good language, books and shastra, values, human life. A good people, saintly people, you malign them. And you create these people, hate them, ultimately destroy the civilizations and humanity. No, what is the point? Now what is my goal of life? Expose your lies, and even after exposing, no acknowledgement, no recognition, no correction, no changing. You create more lies. You keep on creating lies, and it is your full-time job, and my replies have no meaning. Then what is the point in this thing? Then I cannot study. I have no time for studying Shastras. I have no studying for studying something concrete, useful to society. Value, Shastra. I have time only to refute you, but even after refuting, neither you change nor you won't stop. And you keep on building universities and media and all that. What is all this? No, you don't bring more and more. You listen my whole this thing and then reply. You listen whole this my argument now in the last 5 to 10 minutes I told, now you reply. No, I don't want this keep on this thing and what is all this waste of time? Not only waste of time, destroying civilization. Intelligent time, the people are hardworking. These people are dedicated that time for learning Shastras and living life, and all our valuable creative thinking is wasted in these refuting lies. Lot of our time and intelligence and hard work and tapas, all our intelligence, creativity is wasted in refuting these deliberate lies created with an evil motive. These fellows are criminals, intellectual criminals, I am telling you. Because you have got a money, all the money goes into the building universities. All the money goes into the building institutions and propaganda material like TVs and medias and YouTube, and create people, pay them and create the people, train them in these lies, and then they create the media. With this, what will be the situation? You destroy the creative people. See the creative, great, saintly people, you malign them as the wicked people on the earth. What will you get? Is it a civilization? Are we civilized? Oh, already people were barbaric, we are on civilizing, advancing. Where will you advance one day? No, you don't bring again. I have refuted. What you are going to raise also I have refuted. That's what I mean to say is, more lies which you are going to create, keeping all the future lies in view, I have refuted.
Okay.
Now again they say, no, that's okay, now I leave another lie. Why do you want me to reply each lie by lie? I have replied whole setup once. Whole motive, your method, your motive, your intention, your goal, and your unconscious ultimate effect. You have got one is a positive, your intended goal. Another is your unintended effect will be destruction of civilizations. Cultures and civilizations, humanity is destroyed. Meaningless, baseless hatred is created between groups. Whole society hates for no reason. You take all benefit, we have been living as one society, all Hindus. For no reason you start hating your own people, your own ancestors. You start hating your own ancestors. Now what do you get that? All this is the society you created, like the Muslims you see. They start hating their own pre-converted ancestors. What crime they have committed for them? You can get converted, you start hating your father. Father and mother, they born you, they brought you up, they gave you culture, education, they worked hard, they lived all hard work and life, and they brought you up. You became a Christian or Muslim, you start hating them and killing them. And maligning them after death also, they were all kafirs and you malign them. You become a very civilized man. This kind of behavior, this kind of conversion, will it bring a great civilization to humanity? Now you say, no, don't answer that. No, you answer my lie alone. Lie by lie, I should keep on answering it. What is the point? Why do you make me busy only to answer one lie? And then again, after answering it, no accountability, no responsibility. I am sorry, hereafter I will not do. I will introspect myself. I will not create more lies. Even for that old lie, how much I have damaged, how much I have maligned people, how much time I have wasted your time. Your creative mind, you could have used it for another good purpose, for the good of the society, for building the languages, culture, and helping the people. I have wasted so much of time. I am sorry, I will compensate, I will not do. Hereafter I will become your disciple and learn from you. Does he become? Our old system, If two people scholars debate, if one fellow is debated, you have to become disciple. Give up all your old nonsensical thinking. Become my disciple and follow these good values. I refute it, you set aside and again malign one more thing. Again this thing. That means you waste me and my generation, my society, my whole culture, civilization, whole humanity you destroy. Then what are you? Is there any better word? Then my intellectual criminal I have given already name. Is there any better word? Tell me. Is there any better word? Then what is this all going on? Nearing 8. That's why I told you, don't bring all these things. Anyway, if you want, we can discuss separately because the Sanskrit class will be delayed. But if you don't mind in the Sanskrit, I don't know what about this audience. I don't know those who are going to listen this talk in Facebook and YouTube. If they don't mind it, in between he brings this kind of questions and I don't mind answering. But in a way, it is useful to us, not relevant directly to Sanskrit, but it is useful to us. Okay, this point I'll complete in 2 minutes because we are nearing 8. So here, this is a Sandhi rule, A, O, I, O, when followed by any vowel. Any vowel means it can be A, E, U, anything. So this is a Sandhi rule I am talking, Sandhi rule. But if you leave the Sandhi rule, general rule is A has got I as a substitute. O has got, now the followed by vowel, that is not there. Okay, followed by vowel, we can take it. Okay, followed by vowel, it changes to Av. I changes to I. Sorry, here I think I didn't put it. I, this is consonant. This should be, consonant. Au becomes Av. Now let's say, for these things we have told, Prathama Gana Dhatus, take the Gana Pratyaya, Gana Vikarana Pratyaya, conjugational sign is A. Here there is no space. There is a space. This Jai I can remove. So, I think my ink is over. If you put A, ink is there. What happens? See. Now, Bho followed by A. According to this rule, O followed by vowel, A. O changes to?
Au.
Mahesh understood? Okay. So, Bho changes to, followed by A. This Bho changes to Bhav. Bhav plus A. Bhav plus A. Bhava. Ti.
Bhavati.
So in the bracket he has given Bhava.
Okay.
That means the Bhu changing to Bhava in the Bhandarkar book he has given in that circular bracket. Bho changes to Bhava means it has received application of 2 rules. One is U changing to O changing to Av. So 2 rules we have applied. As a result of applying the 2 rules, it has reached the stage of Bhav. That Bhav is given. So those who are beginning, those who do not want to know too many grammatical rules, or for children and such people, you can say Bhu, Bhav and Bhavati, teach them. Because I am telling, if you want to teach the Bhandarkar book to people, don't give them too many rules. So, because he'll be too much frightened. Abba, Sanskrit is so difficult. Bhu becomes Bhav, Bhavati, tell him directly. Bhavati, Bhavata, Bhavanti, Bhu, Bhavati, that's all. Don't teach remaining. Bhu, Bhavati. Bhu and Bhavati, in between Bhava also you need not teach. Bhu becomes Bhavati. He will memorize it. Children don't go and memorize it. Understand the meaning. Bhavati means he is, she is, that's all. So for those who want little, okay, Bhav. Still you want more grammar? Too. So as depending upon his interest, his age, you can add more rules. Otherwise, Bhu Bhavati directly. That's all. He learns the language and over. So for us, after applying the 2 rules, we have reached the Bhava. For Bhava, we add the Ti, Taha and Ti. So here you see, Bhu, Bhava, Bhavati. Ni becomes E becomes A. A followed by vowel, Akara. Ni becomes Nai. Therefore, Ni becomes Nai. Ni becomes Nai. Naya, Nayati. Okay. Ne first stage alone. Ta is added Neta. The Neta Nayak. Nayaka Neta. North Indians, they use Neta. Neta. Okay. Now, Sru, Sar. After Sar, A is added. Now, these things doesn't apply because not required. Sru, Sar becomes Sarati. Budh, Bodh, At, Bodhati. That's all. So, this much of forms we have learned. I think...
So, this Sandhi rule applies only for first Gana?
No, this Gunadesha applies to first conjugation rules. But this is a general Sandhi rule. The second is Sandhi rule. Anywhere it can be. It is general Sandhi rule applied anywhere. This is called aya adi. Aya, ava, aya, these four are put together called aya adi. Ayadi sandhi. Easy to remember. Aya, etc. Aya adi. Adi means these three.
Okay.
Ayadi. Ayadi adesha sandhi. Ayadi sandhi. Ayadi sandhi means H-O-Y-Y. Ayavayava sandhi in Panini language. In Panini language, ayavayava. Yantavanta alla. Ayadi better. Ayadi sandhi is easy to remember. Ayadi sandhi. Yantavanta alla. Yanta. Vantadeshaha Panini says. Yanta vanta adeshaha. But yanta vanta andre not yava, akara also you have to mention. Ayadi is better. Ayadi sandhi. Okay, so these verbs we have learned. Now we can go to the translation practice, but 2 more verbs we have to tell, but there is no time. 2 more new verbs he is using, as and ad. After using these 2, now few more sentences are here for translation. You can see vadami. Do you see the vadami?
Vadami.
So vadami, rakshasi, patati, bodhasi, these are the sentences given for translation. If you can do, then do it tomorrow. Okay? So the vadami, how do you do that? Vadami, supposing you read it. First you read vadami. In these things now recognize the 2. One is the verb, root, and the ending purusha pratyaya. Me means first person, me. And uttam purusha ekavachana. Me means I. Vada means to speak. So how do you translate? I speak. This way you translate it. Remaining all also. Recognize the final letter, that is the purusha. Only 3 things you remember. Ti, see me, only 3. Ti, see me, we have not written. Ti, see me. Then the verb. Then the verb you read here. And one more practice you have to do is gam gacha, to go, we have told it. You repeat these verbs so that you can remember for any new vidyarthi. Gam gacha, to go. Like from the when Sanskrit verb is told, you should be able to recall the meaning. When I tell the English meaning, to go, what is the verb for it? Gam. Gam gacha, you have to recall. To protect, what is the verb for it? Raksha. So like that, when you tell the English meaning, you should be able to recall English verb. Sanskrit verb. When you tell the Sanskrit verb, you should be able to. 2 ways you practice it. Once you read that, once you read this. Then you become thorough. You will be able to translate it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om Tat Sat.